flow, a mental state in which a person is completely focused on and engaged in a task or activity. What does this have to do with the video, you may ask? Nothing. Flows and azure latch are very powerful tools designed either for an offensive push or comeback, a defensive play to block and defend, or to just door farm. They do that too. These flows are a very big deal for a character as they can completely make or break a character's playstyle. And the most important part, it provides heavy team value. Because yes, despite how some people play, this is a team-based game in which you'll succeed the most by working together. Now these flows inherently have a lot of depth in usage, be it offense, defense, or passing. This can be due to the flow's moves or how the flow is activated. This is what makes flow an overall very good system that works very well in azure latch. Now every ounce of praise I just gave, remove it. That's Kurona's flow. So bye. But no, seriously, I want to figure out why this is even true. Whether you agree or not if the flow was designed well, I shouldn't have this type of thought if it was designed well. And in this video, I plan to state why I feel as if Kurona's flow is a failure of the flow system. And I want to make this clear. I have a deep care and love for azure latch. This video isn't meant to be me hating on azure latch and Boss Studios, because I really love this game. It's just, I've had this issue with the style for a while, and I've always wanted to discuss this. Just sucks I've been too lazy to make it, but now we're here. So anyways, let's get into it. The way I categorize flows is with 4 different categories. The first being the simplest, that is the on-the-ball flow. This is really only used to activate a flow ability quickly or to apply heavy offensive pressure. Secondly, we have the steal flows. Now these flows exist in order to mount a comeback, as this type of flow can be activated when the ball is in the air, and most importantly, will automatically force the ball into your possession, letting a comeback be feasible or allowing for much more defensive pressure as you can stop shots with it. Thirdly is the off-the-ball flows. Now these are used in a few scenarios. The first is to signal your team to pass or set up a play with your flow. Most likely won't happen, but you can try. Secondly is either A, you don't have a steal flow in your style and you want to stop a shot, or B, you can't make the distance to stop a shot, so you want to use your off-the-ball flow to just stop the shot. You won't be able to intercept it, but you can stop it at the very least, or it can be used to pull someone out of anything involving air specials, be it Nagi's controlled or Botch's T special. This flow is just mainly used defensively on styles that lack a steal flow. However, this can still be very useful for your teammates, as it can allow for a frame 1 steal or an interception. This last section we'll simply call the unique flows. This houses Aiku's guaranteed steal if he hits an enemy who has the ball with his flow, of course on his side of the field, Baro's teammate steal, and Ryo's jumping turn. Lastly, of course, we house what I consider to be the worst flow design this game has, Kurona's flow. Now let's start simply with its activation. This flow can only be activated if 2 conditions are fulfilled, that being you are close to a teammate and that teammate has the ball. Now already, 2 big problems. One is, if your teammate has the ball, they'll probably just use that flow, their flow, faster than you'll be able to make the distance to them. And secondly, this is the only flow Kurona has. No steal flow, no off-the-ball flow, at least in the traditional sense. Like, he has no independent flow. But of course, you may say this is just how Kurona is designed, to be constantly close and moving with the person who has the ball. However, by giving this flow, and this being its only way to activate, it kind of shoots yourself in the foot, as your teammates will most likely just use their flow and block yours, or yours will be an active hindrance to your teammates if you use your flow. Those will get more cover it up more in the next section, but to wrap this section up, it definitely hurts the style that it has no way to gain priority with just the flow alone, no steal or anything like that with this flow's activation. In this section, I just mainly want to point out the overall big flaw with this flow. That being its entire purpose is to score a single point, and then it will kill the rest of your flow. The main issue with this is, of course, when compared to other flows, be it offensive flows or defensive flows. For our offensive example, I'll use Rin, and for our defensive example, I'll use Aiku. But starting with offense, Kurona can do a guaranteed goal and steal. That's it, because those are his only flow abilities. Now, compared to this monster that is Rin's flow, it's just not close. Rin has, count them, 3 possible shots in his flow. Disgustingly offensive. And the big thing, none of his shots will kill his flow, making it highly likely and almost guaranteed that he could just score with all 3 shots and gain a massive lead. So obviously, you can see it's just not close on offensive value with Rin, but not just with Rin, with almost every style. Shido, Isagi, Bachida, Baro, Rayo. These styles can all provide heavy values with steals, flow shots, or the flow variations on movements like Nagi's heavy. Aiku, with the same amount of flow abilities as Kurona, can accomplish better defensive results. With 2 volleys that go very far, and alongside Aiku's phenomenal base moveset, it just makes the choice clear on defensive value. Kurona wouldn't nearly provide as much. This issue could be changed if he just had a flow similar to Rayo. Off the top of my head, I could see a flow requiring like a teammate next to you when the ball is in the air. And similar to Rayo's jumping turn flow activation, the teammate would do Isagi's direct shot and just shoot it down the field, or do anything. This is your game. Make stuff fun. But, back to the main topic. I'll ask you, if the point of a flow is to just get a guaranteed goal, is that fun to you? Is that unique at all? Or is that just kind of boring? So I've addressed the 2 issues I've had. Maybe not in enough words, if so, I'm just bad at writing scripts. But anyway, you can at least hopefully understand the point I'm trying to make with those 2 segments. So here comes the reason why I think this issue even exists, because Kurona's style has no identity. Now, maybe some Kurona players are raging, but who am I kidding? There's only like 2 people watching this. But you may ask, how dare I make such a baseless claim? Well, what value truly does Kurona provide to any team that any other style couldn't do? In terms of offense, this is not even close. In terms of defense, it's not close. So it clearly has to be his passing. That's the only viable reason. But now we get to my biggest issue. Kurona can force just bad passes. And this is something I have seen happen a lot of times to myself and to teammates, that his passes are just most of the time done by people who don't time them correctly. So very clearly, his pass needs to be timed precisely and well. But if that's the case, and maybe importantly, if you have him, Rayo is simply a better alternative. Excluding the fact he literally has a way to switch between an offensive build and a defensive build, Rayo, in many styles, with their basic shots, can accomplish similar passing results, along with more impressive offensive results and defensive results. So I'll just ask you again, what is the point of this style if it just doesn't have one? But it's not just like Kurona. Aiku, Don, and Sei can accomplish very similar results in regards to passing, in regards to offense and defense, and they all have much more phenomenal and better flows. Now you're probably asking, okay, so what's the point of this? Well, I want to showcase the overall importance that good design philosophy has. Now, to be clear, as I said earlier, this is not meant to be intended to be seen as me just hating on Azure, Latch, and Boss Studios. I've been playing for almost a year. I still care for it, and I probably will for a long time. I can see a world where Boss Studios can cook, excluding the awful introduction of style coins, what I think the horrible unbalancing of Rayo. I love the style identity that Rayo has, that many other styles can have, including this one. It's the highest honor I can say is many styles, including Rayo, the one that they just released, is a perfect capture with the copy ability. It's so fun. And I think a fan game, that's the highest honor that someone could get. All in all, I just think Kurona shows the dangers of a simply not finished design. I think if it took a few more months, a few more weeks, I think Kurona would have been phenomenal. But overall, I just think his idea of a teamwork-based style could work. I just think his flow overall needed just some more tweaks and more time in the oven. But you know what? Maybe I'm just wrong. I want you, yes, you, the one guy watching this video, to comment your opinions below. Or maybe not. Because I just really actually want to discuss this with people. I'm very passionate about this, obviously. Anyways, you've been drinking orange soda. I'll catch you on our next carbonated discussion. Bye for now.